In May 2022, India's Ministry of Railways signed a procurement deal with China's Taiyuan Heavy Industry Corporation to purchase 39,000 train wheels at a cost of 1.7 billion rupees, roughly $21 million. Interestingly, the per-wheel price ended up being 1.68% higher than the initial contract. This raises an important question. Why is India paying more for Chinese wheels? Is domestic manufacturing not an option? If you're enjoying our content, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Now let's dig deeper. India runs one of the most expansive rail systems on the planet. This vast network is a lifeline for millions of people, connecting remote villages to bustling cities and facilitating the movement of goods and passengers across the country. With more than 13,000 trains serving close to 8,000 stations daily, it's an impressive network. The Indian Railways is not just a mode of transport, it's an integral part of the nation's culture and economy, providing employment to over 1 million people. But much of this system is outdated and stretched to capacity, contributing to frequent mishaps. The aging infrastructure struggles to keep up with the growing demand, leading to delays and safety concerns. In 2021 alone, India recorded nearly 18,000 train-related accidents, resulting in over 16,000 deaths and 1,852 injuries. These incidents highlight the urgent need for modernization and improved safety measures. Between 2017 and 2021, nearly 100,000 people were killed in train-related incidents. The high number of fatalities underscores the critical importance of investing in better technology, infrastructure, and training to ensure the safety of passengers and railway staff. To modernize its infrastructure, India introduced the semi-high-speed Vande Bharat Express after 18 months of development. Although promoted as Made in India, the coaches are built under license from Germany's LHB, and 70 to 80% of their essential components, including train wheels, are still imported. Despite being a major global economy, India remains behind in high-end manufacturing, especially in high-speed rail wheels. Following advice from Western partners, India initially turned to Ukraine to fill the gap. In August 2021, India inked an $18 million contract for 30,000 wheels meant for LHB carriages. The deal was expected to conclude by the end of 2022, but the outbreak of the Russia-Ukraine war crippled production, leading to factory closures and bankruptcies. Logistical issues and material shortages followed, delaying deliveries. With the trains ready but the wheels missing, India assumed the conflict would be short-lived and tried to use the downtime to kickstart domestic wheel production. However, building high-speed rail wheels is far from simple. Each one must be precision-forged from a solid steel billet, undergoing heating, molding, treatment, and rigorous testing. The steel used must meet extremely high standards, such as an oxygen content below 0.002% and minimal impurities. Indian manufacturers couldn't meet these demands. Only 5 nations, China, Japan, Germany, France, and Italy, have the expertise to produce these high-spec wheels. As the war dragged on for years, India had to initiate emergency bidding. Interestingly, even before the bids officially opened, India had already leaned toward partnering with China. Why the sudden pivot? Continued delays with Ukraine meant India couldn't deploy its new high-speed carriages, and the current rail system was already under intense pressure. Without rapid improvement, experts warned of severe disruptions or even paralysis of India's transportation network. The need for new wheels became urgent. At that point, China was the only country able to manufacture and deliver the required wheels quickly enough to keep the trains operational. The urgency was driven by the need to maintain the efficiency and safety of the railway network, which is a critical component of India's transportation infrastructure. Without these wheels, many trains would have been grounded, causing significant disruptions in both passenger and freight services. By the end of 2023, India's Railways Ministry placed a larger order with Taiyuan Heavy Industry, increasing the total to 39,000 wheels, a substantial increase from the initial order. This decision was influenced by the reliability and timely delivery of the previous shipments, which had met all the technical specifications required by Indian Railways. The increased order also reflects India's growing demand for rail transport as the country continues to expand its network and modernize its fleet. 9,000 more than the original Ukraine deal. The shift from Ukraine to China was not just about quantity, but also about quality and consistency. Chinese manufacturers have proven their capability to produce high-quality wheels that meet international standards, which was a crucial factor for Indian Railways. The new price per wheel was 1.68% higher, bringing the contract value to 1.7 billion rupees, or about 21 million US dollars. This price adjustment was necessary to account for the rising costs of raw materials and labor in China. Despite the price increase, the deal was still considered cost-effective given the quality and timely delivery of the wheels. Exchange rate fluctuations also risk pushing up the final cost. The Indian rupee's performance against the US dollar and the Chinese yuan could significantly impact the overall expenditure. Financial analysts have been closely monitoring these fluctuations to provide accurate forecasts and help the Railways Ministry manage its budget more effectively. The deal with China, while beneficial in many ways, also comes with its set of financial risks that need careful management. Under the agreement, all wheels are to be produced by October 2024, with full delivery expected by year's end. Indian experts acknowledge that local firms can't meet demand, which is why the ministry continues sourcing critical parts like wheels and axles from foreign suppliers. However, this China deal came with unusual terms that caught many by surprise. Beijing demanded at least 60% of the payment up front, far above the international norm of around 10%. This significant deviation from standard practices raised eyebrows and led to intense discussions among stakeholders. Why such a steep prepayment? What could be the rationale behind such a stringent requirement? The answer lies in previous trade tensions and the history of financial dealings between the two nations. These past interactions have shaped the current landscape of their trade agreements. A past deal with China's BYD for 300 electric buses saw India delay the final installment by 3 months, despite prior commitments. This delay created a ripple effect, influencing future negotiations. This made Chinese companies wary and pushed them to require more secure terms moving forward. They wanted to ensure that their financial interests were protected and that similar delays would not occur again. As a result, the insistence on a higher upfront payment became a new norm in their dealings, reflecting a cautious approach to international trade. So when India signed this deal, public reaction wasn't enthusiastic. While the railway upgrade should have been cause for celebration, many Indians were upset that such a critical order went to China. The root of the backlash lies in the way Chinese issues are portrayed in Indian media. For years, media outlets have portrayed China as a rival or threat, fueling distrust among the public. Many Indians still associate made in China with low-quality goods and questioned why the government didn't choose Japan instead, whose rail technology they consider superior. But that perception has been challenged. India's initial excitement about Japan's high-speed tech faded after a major scandal revealed Japan had falsified inspection data for its rail wheels. The discovery severely damaged India's trust in Japanese manufacturing. Meanwhile, the urgency to get high-speed wheels only grew. The delays with Ukraine cost India precious time. If the wheels don't arrive soon, the nation's overburdened rail system may deteriorate further. With time running out, India prioritized efficiency, something Chinese manufacturers could deliver. In addition to the urgent order, India also made 2 more deals with Taiwan earlier this year. One for 25,000 wheels and another for 30,000 axles, totaling over $40 million. And the problems with Japan haven't ended. The highly anticipated Mumbai-Ahmedabad high-speed rail project, launched in 2017, was supposed to be operational by 2024. Instead, the project has faced delay after delay. Originally estimated to cost $12 billion, the project's timeline and budget have both spiraled out of control.